Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Mountain Valley Farm. This is episode number 6, and as you can tell from the upper right-hand side of the screen there, we are in a brand new game day. This is game day number 3, or the first game day of mid-spring, and so we finally have some things to do other than forestry and stuff like that. But first, well, we need to tend to our animals because that's kind of the way that I think that we would want to kind of start our day off, is at least taking care of them. They've got plenty of water and they've got hay and stuff like that, but they do need some total mixed rations, so we're going to help them out here and give them some of this. So let me just pull up that, and that is I to unload. Of course it is. And we will give them the total mixed rations here, and that will help them keep productive. Our productivity is down, obviously, just because we do not have any grass to mow, but I think that that will all change today, or at least in this game day. So we will sort of let the grass grow for a few more game hours of this day, and we're going to kind of get started with some seeding, because if you look at our soil temperature there, 43 degrees, so we are 2 degrees basically above where we need to be to plant the majority of our crops that we're going to choose to plant on this map. And just please ignore me running over the chickens there. They're actually quite, our chickens are quite resilient here on our farm, and no harm is ever done to any of our chickens. And so let me just back our little Keenan up back here if I can do that. Of course I can't back and talk at the same time. So I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Hope you've had a wonderful weekend. I'm not really sure when episodes air anymore, so I used to kind of know and keep up with, well, this episode's going to air on this particular date and this episode's going to air on that date. But I have kind of lost track of that with my somewhat busier schedule. And so I will just hope you all are having a wonderful day and such. I think this episode's probably going to air next week for me, sometime around Monday time frame. So anyway, yeah, the chickens, that does kind of bother me just a little bit. I kind of wish the chickens were maybe more secluded to a specific area on the farm instead of kind of where they are. But hey ho, beggars cannot be choosers, I suppose. Okay, so this does not have a PTO. Okay, not a big deal. We're stuck and we're free again. All right. So let's get in our little Massey here, and we will go and top up with some seeds. I just did a run down to the store. They had placed some seeds for us, loaded us up. They open early hours around here, so it's good to have a sell point that is obviously open at the time that we need them to be open. So we will fill things up here. Let me just back up. I missed my spot there. And we will fill up with some seeds. I think we will just go ahead and start with the old wheat. And we will plant wheat in our big field here, the first one that we actually cleared. And I have no idea what sort of how far seeds are going to go here on this map. I picked up, I think, about 6 or 7 bags of fertilizer, and ended up having 3 left over, which we will obviously need to use. Now this, I decided to go with a 6-meter seeder just because, well, I kind of thought the 9-meter was a little bit too big for this size map, and quite honestly I wanted to be able to cover a little bit more ground a little bit faster than what say a 3-meter seeder could do. I would still like to use the Kuhn stuff, the seeding stuff, but it's just so small at 3 meters. It is just a little bit too small for my liking. And so, we've got the money and everything here on our map, and such. And so we're going to obviously also take advantage of GPS. So let me just kind of get into position here, and we will go ahead and lower our seeder down and get our GPS going. And our working width automatic here is 7.2. Well, that's not right. So we will need to dial that down to 6 meters. Can we hit 6? There we go, 6 meters. And we don't need an offset. And let's just go ahead and slide this over. All right, Windows 10 is not my best friend. How many times has that happened on the channel that stupid Windows 10 just wants to restart? I wish it would just go away and bug somebody else. But anyway, so our first seeding is going down, and we gotta obviously love that here on our farm. We will skip a couple of rows and try to make the most of the space that we have. So anyway, I hope you all are having a wonderful time. I hope you're enjoying some of the flight sim videos that I've been bringing to the channel. I have certainly been having a wonderful time with flight sim. Still loving farm sim as well. If you guys are wondering what happened to Lone Star, well, I think that's just kind of part of the deal as far as my available time that I have sort of available to record and do things. I had to kind of make a little bit of a sacrifice, and I think that Lone Star is just going to be part and parcel of that sacrifice, at least for now. I'm keeping the game save intact, so if for whatever reason, if I have an opportunity to kind of bring it back, then obviously I will do that. And or maybe I'll live stream it on occasion. I don't know. I'll figure out something. I do enjoy that map. It's just that unfortunately, because that map is a little bit there's a tree there, Jerry. There's a beautiful tree that I chose not to cut down because I didn't want to cut down all of the trees. I really felt that there was no need to go in and chop everything down. I was somewhat strategic. Obviously, I wanted to clear out the spaces where we wanted to put fields because that was important, obviously. But at the same time, I didn't see a need to cut these trees down next to the rock there because, well, I can't farm that area anyway. So there's really no reason to go in and cut that down. So I did sort of leave that. So we'll skip another row or two here and try to get locked in on my course there. Oops. Trying to get the hang of it. I've been flying aircraft a little bit here lately, as I do a pretty poor job getting locked in there and getting my seeder lowered, but there we go. So I think the seeds will grow just fine. Looks like our yield's doing pretty good, so I believe we've made about 3 or 4 rows there, and we've only used about 7% of our seeds. So I do believe that the more realistic mod does sort of shorten or reduce the amount of seeds that get used. I don't think that that's perhaps realistic about it, even though that's the name of the mod, is the more realistic mod. But I believe that our good friend Farmer Klein had sort of first realized that, or he was maybe the first person that I heard talking about that. I hadn't really noticed it because, quite honestly, I sometimes just get up here and, you know, I'm sitting here in my virtual tractor, and I've got my screens in front of me, and I'm talking to you guys and whatnot, and I don't necessarily pay that close of attention to things. But you know, I think that Farmer Klein must have, and he noticed that his yield was going much further than normal. So, but you know, we've got the more realistic mod on because Well, I like what it sort of does as far as the performance of the tractor, and we're using default equipment here on this map. Obviously, the mod contest is over, so the Seasons mod is out there in full force, and hopefully, for those of you that have been just itching to get your hands on the Seasons mod, I hope that you have done so. I hope that you have taken the time to download it, and I hope that you've taken the time to really pace yourself with the use of it. It is a remarkable mod. I have been, sitting here in my virtual tractor or virtual whatever for months now, talking about this and talking about how incredible it is. And I'm not the only one. My good friend Mike Reefy 1952, he's fully consumed the Kool-Aid. It's just a figure of speech that more or less means that we are fully vested into the mod, and more or less realize that there is no way that we can really play the game without the mod, just because of the extra level of immersion that it provides. And what it does is it gives me a sense of purpose. It gives me something to do instead of starting up a brand new map from scratch and sort of playing that as the very talented and quite honestly very important mod creator, mod developer gives to us. We have some purpose. We have to think about how we do things. We have to think about what our planning strategy is going to be, what our fertilization strategy is going to be, what our harvesting strategy is going to be, because as you have seen me play a couple of different maps, successfully, Law Folds, and then Pine Cove Farm somewhat unsuccessfully because we had some problems, but I think all of that really boiled down to the fact that I was updating the mod several different times over the course of its development cycle, and so as a result, the changes I think were conflicting with how the map was progressing, how the plant growth and everything was progressing. But anyway, I think we had very much success with it on Law Folds, and I have nothing but the highest hopes that we will also have success with it here on Mountain Valley Farm. And to be quite honest with you, I don't think that I could go back to the sort of the old standard, the old way of playing a farm sim map, in again just sort of showing up on day one with the map and having some things to harvest, and then basically being able to turn that field around quite rapidly, and within a couple of game days, even if you have plant growth slowed down to the slowest possibility, you could still come back around and harvest again pretty quick. And that's the one thing that I think that I enjoy with this. And of course, if you are just experimenting with the mod yourself, sort of brand new and everything, then you'll eventually find your own routine. You'll find your own pace and methods about going about things. And certainly if you want to copy anything from me that I have done or I have talked about, feel free to. I'm not the Seasons mod expert. I just basically, through, I guess, sheer determination, figured out how it would work best for me in my application and how I wanted to use it on the maps that I have played. And I think that chemistry has actually worked just fine. So, and I wish you the very best of luck to you on your virtual farm, and I hope it's something that if well, first of all, I think that you need to really understand all the mechanics about the Seasons mod. And I realize that it's been out now for probably a little over a week by the time that you're actually watching this video, but I would invite you to actually check out my friend Mike Reefy 1952. Mike did a Mike did a multi-part. And I am so far behind on my video watching. That's also something else that's kind of had to take a little bit of a back burner is the time that I've had to be able to watch all of my friends' videos like Reefy 1952, like Doughboy, like many of the others, Icelandic Farmer, etc. You know, I am so far behind, and I just don't think that I can catch up. I'm just going to have to more or less just, you know, bite the bullet and say, all right, you know, I'm just going to have to kind of just pick up where they are right now and just kind of make my own story up as I guess as I view what they're doing and sort of fill in the pieces best I can. But Mike has created a multi-part video as the fog is starting to settle in here on us. Multi-part video on the Seasons mod. He's covering things such as, you know, how to create the snow mask. And let me just tell you that, you know, I have said many times, for those of you that have been around the channel, that are a friend of the channel from almost the very beginning, you know that I have often talked about the fact that, you know, I was somewhat reluctant to really dive into the whole Giants editor thing, just simply because, you know, I may have even used the term once or twice that I was scared of it, and I've clarified that, meaning that not necessarily scared of it. I just, you know, the amount of free time that I had to really learn it. The thing about me, and you may sort of, as you may watch, and hopefully you will watch some of my flight sim stuff as I really get going with the episodes and with the content, you'll probably learn that I'm sort of very much a perfectionist, and I like to understand things, and this sort of drives my wife crazy because, you know, I will work until I am just about bone dead tired, trying to perfect something, trying to get something just perfect, just right. And I'm also that way in understanding something. I like to take in the big picture. I'm kind of a big picture guy. That's not always been the easiest thing for me, and especially in the IT career, because I don't always get the chances to be big picture. I sometimes have to, you know, just really get with it and get her done, you know. But in any event, I've always, when I've looked at Giants Editor, or when I've seen other people use Giants Editor, say on YouTube, I've always been like, well, I want to understand, you know, everything. I want to understand everything about what's going on. And so I guess that's been some of my reluctance, is that I really didn't think that I would have time to really take everything in. Well, what I'm really trying to say here is that if I can do it, you can do it. And I basically created a snow mask for Mountain Valley Farm. The particular map version that I initially downloaded, that I basically did all the work and everything on to clear out all the old equipment and stuff that was laying around, as all part of the storyline as we've really started to open this package up here. I did all that in Giants Editor, and of course I had to rely on information and instruction, and actually almost tech support from my friend Eustace Farmer. And Eustace, I cannot thank you enough for being so generous in the time that you spent with me, answering messages on text message, as well as a couple of phone calls, really helping me to understand what I needed to do a couple of different things that I did on this map. And but if I can figure out how to do a snow mask, then you can do that as well. But anyway, part of Mike's video package that he is creating for you all to consume, to view, will cover some of that. But he's also going into sort of all the mechanics of the Seasons mod. Everything from you know, basically everything from how the Seasons mod handles and controls not only your planting times because of soil temperature, and then the crop growth cycles, as well as animal behaviors and stuff like that. And for those of you that have been a part of my channel, I feel like that I have tried to do my very best to bring you along with the experience, with my experience, and really help you understand everything that there is to know and love about the Seasons mod, even though you could not get access to it until just recently. And that was one of the hardest things for me, and I know I've talked about this before, about the fact that I from now on, I think folks, from now on, I'm only going to feature mods and add-ons and things like that that are available to you. Unless I just get something just fantastic that I get the opportunity to showcase for a little while. I think that the Seasons mod, honestly, when I started using it, I don't know if I really expected that it would take as long as it did before it was available for prime time, before it was available for you. So the great news is it's very stable. It's getting so many accolades because it really truly is. It really truly is the best mod for Farm Sim 17. I mean, it really, really is. And if you will just be patient with it, if you will understand the rules, if you will, the guidelines that you must more or less follow to be able to take advantage of what it's going to offer you. If you will follow those steps, you will have success. So in other words, the biggest advice that I can give you is look at your forecast, look at this page here, and don't plant anything until your minimum soil temperatures are where they need to be. Because if you do, if you plant something, especially soybeans is that super sensitive crop. Oh, it looks like we've got rain coming. Soybeans is that super sensitive crop, and you're going to lose it. You will lose the crop if you plant it with the soil temperature too low, too cool. So with it raining, obviously the Seasons mod restricts things that we can do, but we can, of course, we can seed. Might not, I don't know if we would actually do this in the real world, in real life, if they would actually do that. I suppose it would depend just on how much rain was falling at the time. I maybe would refer to my buddy Doughboy, Matt there, who showcases on his channel not only the virtual world of Farm Sim, but also real world Farm Sim as well. Doughboy works on a farm there where he lives, and he's had the opportunity, with his boss's permission and everything, to basically showcase part of what he does on a day-to-day basis on his channel. And it would help if I hit the right button, Jerry. And so I would invite you to check his channel out, but maybe I'll defer that question to him as to if it was just a light rain. I would assume that you would continue just working, especially if your soil conditions and everything were relatively dry. But if you had a good old soaker come in, you probably would not do it, because you wouldn't want to put torrential ruts and everything into your field that you would later need to fix. But obviously, Farm Sim 17 does not incorporate any sort of ground damage and stuff like that, so we don't have to worry about it. And our time is really almost up. We're coming up on about 25 minutes anyway, so we will just go ahead and finish out this field here. And we're very much appreciative that we're getting the rain. Rain is a good thing. And here in my neck of the woods, I have often talked about, and I've shared with you all, the really odd seasons that we have had here in Colorado with the snow. We had snow, I think the last snow that we had was right around Mother's Day, which I think was only about three weeks or so ago. Well, we've already, our temperatures have already hit above 90 degrees. I think we hit 92 degrees just yesterday or the day before, and the the spigot, the tap, the sprinklers or whatever from Mother Nature have sort of been shut off, unfortunately, and even grass and everything that's not around sprinklers and stuff like that is already starting to scorch and die out, and everything was looking so green for just a matter of about a week ago, actually, when the temperatures really went up. So we'll be appreciative for some rain. But unfortunately, this time of year, oftentimes our rain comes in the form of torrential downpours in the afternoons, where we have days that we get that temperature up, north of 85, 90 degrees like that, and it will. It can be just quite violent with the storms, with the rain, a lot of rain. We'll get a lot of rain in a very short period of time, and often that is accompanied by hail. And you all know my dilemma that I went through with the roof on the house and everything. That's all sorted finally. As a matter of fact, our house is now being painted. So that is just something else to basically have to supervise and do. Thankfully, I'm not having to do the work myself. I don't think that I could keep up with that in a busy, hectic corporate type IT job. But anyway, so some wonderful painters are doing the job for us, and they're doing quite a wonderful job, as a matter of fact, as well. So making really good progress. So I'm just going to go kind of back down the middle here, because I think I've missed a couple of spots, and just go ahead and start thanking you all so much for watching. Now, as I sort of alluded to in the last episode number 5, I'm going to really be focusing on the farming aspects now. I sort of breezed through the forestry stuff just simply because I did not want to necessarily subject you all to having to watch forestry, just one episode after another, because I know that many of you don't enjoy it. Those of you that do, I will apologize if you were hoping to see 20 episodes of me cutting down trees. I apologize that that I did not do that. I would encourage you to watch Mark DuPont's series on this same map, and the approach that he took was probably right up your alley. That's probably going to be something that you're going to quite enjoy if you were to watch that series. You'll find a link to Mark's YouTube channel underneath the video. Oops, no, wrong button. But anyway, I think that one of the things that I sort of alluded to last episode was that now that we're into the farming stage of things, before when I would do these maps, I would often sort of abbreviate, and I would, we would do a task, and then I would, do a lot of the rest of that, either that field or even multiple fields off camera or live stream or whatever. I really think that for this series, because of the things that are going on in the real world with me right now, I think it would be easier for me to just sort of maintain the schedule and go ahead and just do this. And so expect that there will be, the next several episodes will sort of be about seeding, and then of course we will be applying fertilizer. Oh, we've got a leaky barn. We'll have to address that. But in any event, I think that I'm going to very slow things down to a considerable amount from what you might be used to, and we're going to focus on farming. We're going to enjoy farming. We're going to enjoy Farm Sim 17. And I very much hope that you enjoy my company, and I very much enjoy interacting with you. I would just like to remind you all, if you watched one of my flight sim videos last week, I talked about my Discord channel. I'm not on there with voice very much. But I am sort of monitoring it. So if you have a question, if you just want to chat with me or something like that, feel free to go to Grizzly Bear Sims, and you can see on the right hand side of the screen a link to go ahead and connect your Discord to my little Discord channel, and there's a link there where you can download Discord as well if you need to do that. I'll also post a link in the show notes for you as well, and it's just another way for you guys to interact with me, to say hi to me if that's what you would like to do. I think I would enjoy that if you took the time to stop by and say hi, catch me sometime, and just understand that, I don't have a lot of time, especially during the work week and everything, but say hi and I'll probably say hi back to you, and it'll put a smile on my face. But and then of course you can interact with me over on the Three Dudes Gaming Network and also on PCSG as well. So I appreciate you watching my videos as always. We will have to kind of wait out the rain here, but hopefully the rain will not last long and we will resume our planting. We will probably stick with our core crops of wheat, barley, canola, at least for the next foreseeable future, and then we'll look at whether we want to do a soybean or a sunflower or something like that, because I think we've got 1, 2, 3, oh, we've only got 4 fields, so basically we can do 4 different crop types. So wheat, probably do wheat and barley in the 2 fields over there to the right, and then we'll do sunflower and canola or something like that. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Take care now, and be good to each other, and again, stop by and say hello if you have a few free moments. Take care now, and I'll talk to you all very, very soon. God bless you all. Bye-bye.